Yo guys, welcome back to Off the Canvas Boxing. If you haven't done it already, please click the subscribe button. Also follow me on social media, Off the Canvas Boxing on Instagram, and also the same as on Twitch. Also drop a like on this video, it helps out a lot. I don't know how it does, but I know it helps out a lot. But let's get into today's card. This is the Friday December 4th card, and very decent card. Great win as well for James Tennyson. Just to start off with, I know that's towards the late end of the fight, but just wanted to get all of those sort of fights out of the way. But first fight I really want to talk about and touch upon is the Shannon Courtney versus Novak. I think that's the name, something Novak. Very, very tough opponent. That lady, that Polish lady, was an absolute bull in the china shop from the first round all the way up until the seventh round was on it. She was literally running out at Shannon Courtney. She was throwing at anything that could hit. Very tough opponent, you could tell. You know, very good footwork as well, movement. She was very, very good. I'm not gonna lie. For me, from what I can see, I think that Novak lady was a bit too small for Shannon Courtney, which meant that, I know Shannon Courtney is quite small herself. So if this lady's even smaller, maybe she should drop a weight class below. Maybe that like she could gain a lot of success there, because this lady was fast, quick, sharp as well. You know, very good power on top of that. So very good start from that lady called Novak. I thought Shannon Courtney took long to get into the fight, because that lady was a bull in the china shop. To be fair, anybody would get take long to get into the fight, because she was right on her. After a couple of more rounds, Shannon had a bit of momentum. She put on the gas pipes. She stepped up a bit. She tried to sort of hit her with a few very clean right hands, but none of the right hands were sort of landing on, and those that were landing weren't hurting that Novak lady. So I was thinking this might go to the distance, because this lady seems very, very tough lady to get out in the first couple of rounds. As the fight going on, Shannon stepped up the gears and started setting up her punches, throwing a few combinations, and the fight just progressed, and then literally a couple of rounds in, like, I thought this was, to be fair, from what I could see, this looked like it was going a distance until the seventh round. I don't know what Shannon Courtney did, but from what I could see, it looked like she slipped it, ducked down, finished her off with a good hook. I don't know if it was right hand or left hand, because they were dancing around the ring a lot. But then, like, literally cleaned her out. Seventh round knockout. Very, very good performance from Shannon Courtney. She won by KO. You know, so a lot of us were looking for a reaction from the Rachel Ball fight. People were looking for, her to wipe the floor with somebody's opponent, but people didn't want to fight Shannon Courtney, especially on late notice. You know, the way people want to, like, and also as well, because of the crisis with COVID, etc., they can't get fighters to come into the country due to visa, other sort of mitigated circumstances as well. So it was a great win from Shannon Courtney. That lady was a tough lady, I'm not gonna lie, very tough opponent. Shannon blitzed her quite safely as well, and the only person she actually called was Rachel Ball. And I think, when Shannon's talking about Rachel Ball, right, I don't know if it's just me, but you see Shannon looks like she's about to wild out, fam. She looks like she's containing that. She looks like she's about to lose herself completely. And she's like, all right, Shannon, you got to rein it in. And you can tell. So, she's like, I gave you the opportunity. If you think that you beat me the first time, that's fine. Come fight me again. I think Eddie Hearn said that they were going to sort of push for a final eliminator for the WBA belt, so hopefully they'll get cracking on that side, and they can fight for a world title, a rematch against Rachel Ball versus Shannon Courtney for a WBA bantamweight world title. That would be amazing. If I were to see this fight, hopefully it's going to be with fans. Hope like I can go to the fight as well, but that would be sick. I'm not gonna lie. Very good fight next year. 2021 is gonna be like the best year for boxing. You've got the Rachel Ball versus Shannon Courtney rematch. You've got Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Hopefully, if Anthony Joshua goes past Kubrat Pulev. You've also got the Dillian White rematch. Hopefully that happens sort of early next year, and they get cracking with that one. And also Dillian White then goes on to then fight. Who's they gonna fight? Maybe Deontay Wilder next year. You also great sort of fights. You got Alexander Usyk. So there's a lot of good fights happening next year. So next year is going to be a big one. Now going on to sort of the main event, and this is why next year will be amazing. You got Billy Joe Saunders, versus Martin Murray. Now coming into this fight, Billy Joe Saunders needed to have a great performance. People were saying he needed to have a performance of his career. Coming into round 1 and 2. Billy Joe Saunders came in quite slow. He was sort of sizing up his opponent. Martin Murray was sort of landing a couple of jabs here and there. I think Martin Murray must have won at least one of those two earlier rounds, and that was sort of the only rounds he won completely. Carrying on, third round, Billy Joe Saunders heated up the gas. Billy Joe Saunders didn't start off super slow, but it's too slow for my liking. You know what I mean there. He could have stepped up a bit in the earlier couple of rounds, and then that would have meant that maybe towards the middle or later rounds he could have stopped him. But I think the first couple of rounds starting off slow would have meant that it was 2 rounds sort of wasted, if that makes sense. So third, fourth and fifth round coming up, Billy Joe Saunders put the gas on. Everything was heating up faster. The gears was going up and up, and Billy Joe Saunders was carrying on. He was jabbing, he was throwing the 1-2s, and he was trying to find the uppercut. For me, coming up to round 7, 8 and 9, Billy Joe Saunders, put on the gas, and I think he got a knockdown in the fight as well. Sort of a knockdown. It was just hard to say, because what's happened was that Billy Joe Saunders was throwing a barrage of punches. Barrage? Is that even a word? I just made up a word. A barrage. I think that is a word. Yeah, a lot of punches. Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders throwing a barrage of punches, like headshots, body shots. As you would do. And I think what's happened is Martin Murray then stepped forward and tried to get out of the ropes. And what Billy Joe Saunders did is he had his hand, his lead hand, his jab hand, because he's southpaw, over Martin Murray's neck, and then Martin Murray just decided to ride off that and go to the ground, which then from one angle looks like Billy Joe Saunders pulls him towards the ground. Like in football they go for a bit of a dive. It looks like that. It's a harsh. If it was a knockdown, it would be a very, very hard, a soft knockdown, in my opinion. Billy Joe Saunders put the gas on and increased the activity from round 9 to round 10. Round 10, he took his foot off the gas a little and sort of just jabbed him out, and hit him with a few clean punches. At round 11 and 12, he signed, sealed, and delivered. The fight, because he was winning. It was sort of. That's what you needed to do. Mildly criticism to Billy Joe Saunders, but one of two actually, was one of the fact that he wasn't throwing a lot of body shots. He was also headhunting a lot. Okay, so he was sort of finding that lead jab or 1-2 and then finding the uppercut. He wasn't doing 3 combination shots. I think Martin Murray is a very quick opponent, so if he sees you throw one punch, he closes up quickly and he jumps backwards. So I can see where Billy Joe Saunders was coming from, try to hit him with just only a single shots, because that's the only thing that will get through, and you can't really set up shots with him. You can't do 1-2 like right hand. You know what I mean there. So also not enough body work. But not enough straight hands to the body, not enough left hook to the body. It wasn't a lot of variation of hooks. It was just literally straight shots. 1, 2, uppercut. Okay, a couple of things here and there, but that was sort of the main shots. Okay, maybe if he had thrown 1 or 2 hooks here and there, he maybe could have stopped him. But nevertheless, very good performance from Billy Joe Saunders. Moving on, after the fight, they had an interview with Sky Sports, and Billy Joe Saunders basically said, "Look, I'm ready for whoever. I'm ready for Andrade, Canelo, Callum Smith, Danny Jacobs, pretty much any person." I know Eddie Hearn said himself that coming into next fight, Billy Joe Saunders will fight either Canelo if Canelo wins, or if he can't fight Canelo, if Canelo wins, then Callum Smith. So one of the two he's fighting in his next fight. Maybe potentially Andrade, but that depends on offers on the table. You know what I mean there. Billy Joe Saunders just wants a unification fight. Canelo, Callum Smith, and fighters like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't want the Martin Murrays of the world. No offense to Martin Murray. He doesn't want to fight fighters that people expect him to beat. and that is the right method of thinking. That's the right mentality to have. You should go into his next fight as like his biggest fight of his career, next to David Lemieux. He should then come, for me, in my opinion, number one opponent should be Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo Alvarez wins against Callum Smith, there's no reason why they can't sort of agree for that fight to take place in Cinco de Mayo next year. Okay, it gives them what, 16-week, 17-week training camp. Okay, of course, if they take a week off and negotiate and they get the deal over the line first or second week of January, why not? You know, Cinco de Mayo date for them too. I don't see why not. Canelo Alvarez versus Billy Joe Saunders for Cinco de Mayo is for me number one choice. Then it goes Callum Smith, if they can't get that fight, or Canelo decides to fight somebody else, Callum Smith. Then if you can't get the Callum Smith fight, third option Andrade. Then fourth option Danny Jacobs. Great card and sort of a great fight. It's one of the, for me, not the best card of the year, but a lot of these fighters have thought this will come into their second fight of the year. So Leroy Richards put in a very ready salted brown bread and butter performance. You know what I mean? They're decent, but not enough sauce. You know what I mean? They could have stopped him quite simply, but you know, onwards and upwards for Leroy Thomas. Hopefully he gets, you know, steps up and fights sort of a European or great European fighter, fringe world level sort of fighter, then progress on to fighting mandatories, etc, etc. But this has been your ringside reaction. Okay, if you haven't done it already, please click the subscribe button. Follow me on social media on Off the Canvas Boxing, and peace, love and prosperity, and I'm going to catch you guys in a bit. Peace.